Action. How's it going, YouTube? DMTombstone Belts back here again with a brand new video. Hold on one second. It looks a little fuzzy. I'm going to try to see if I can wipe the camera right a bit. Maybe a bit more clear so it does not. There we go. Not as fuzzy. So, how's it going, YouTube? DMTombstone Belts here with once again with another live stream of DMTombstone Live. That's a lot later than expected, but hey, I was a little bit busy going around noon, so I had to move it a bit. So now it's going on. I think it's now going on 3 right now. Here, but as you guys know, right now it's episode 48 of DMTombstone Live. And yesterday I was in Southfield watching my brother do a kickboxing fight, and unfortunately, Bradley, what's up? Hey, Bradley, how are you? Yeah, my brother. It didn't turn out quite well, but don't worry, guys. He's okay. He's just a little bit ticked off about how it went because they were changing things at the last like 20 minutes or so. Because apparently in the last fight I went to with him, doing good. Yeah, great, Bradley. Nice to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, so my brother was prepared to fight this guy, and like they didn't tell him about the rules. Apparently, they were able to clench and do knees to the head, which in the last fight, apparently that wasn't allowed. Here, the rules changed for every time, but he was unprepared for that. Too trying to get in the zone. He didn't have to change on the whim, but he did mention that there's going to be a rematch down the line. So he's going to. So right now, guys, just knowing that my brother will be fighting again, this guy in a rematch, and definitely I think he's going to kick his ass. As I say about this, guys, from the obviously everything I do here with DMTombstone Live, it's unsanctioned, uncensored, and whatever happens, happens. And just make sure to try to keep this as family friendly as possible. So yeah, and I did send links out to some people here to hopefully they'll join the live stream. I don't know if it's gonna be Stephen Hammer or not, but I know hopefully it could be Dex. Or that I've been trying to contact these guys for a while now, and many times gonna be busy. That's what's up, Charles. Hi, Charles. How are you? Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, so if you guys know from my previous updates, obviously I'm off work for the next couple of weeks. My business has shut down our shift. GI odd. Fight Central. Hi, what's up? What's this live about? Well, it's about stuff that's been happening from yesterday's live stream, as well as the updates that's been going on for this next couple of weeks. Like I was mentioning, I was going to do a live stream or some video. Good. Was going to do a video about me unboxing a package I got from Hassan's Belts. I've got a couple of stuff from him, like the WCW tag right there, the big green belt you've probably seen on my channel. If you haven't, go check it out. And of course, my AEW TNT title. But due to some weather delays, because we had weather problems with this last week, most of Detroit was flooding. My package has been delayed till Monday. So, and since I'm not working Monday and all that, obviously I'll be here to wait for when that package arrives. And when it does arrive, I'm going to do a regular video on my channel. And I am completely new. I don't know any of what you're saying. LOL. Well, if you don't know about my channel is mostly about wrestling. And occasionally other random stuff that happens. Hi, dude. Hi, Justin De Silva. How are you? Just knowing about my, I mostly do live streams, to fill in the time, stuff I want to just ramble about. And yeah, many times I wouldn't mind having people on that, like Stephen Hammer, who I mentioned. I'm good, Justin. Nice to see you here on part of my channel. But yeah, so I usually I chatted once with, if you guys don't know, Stephen Hammer. He is a well-known YouTuber here, well, around near 17,000 subscribers, where he talks about wrestling belts as well, like me. I just wanted to say about yesterday. I was, if you guys didn't know, see my social media, I went to Southfield for a fight my brother was in, and last night there was a couple fights I've seen, and one involving a guy getting knocked out. And man, I've been to my brother's fights maybe like twice. One was an MMA fight, and the last one was a kickboxing one, like this one was last night. And I never suspected to see a knockout, and yet when I did, I was just like, "Holy shit!" Yeah, that guy. The first time the guy was getting rocked in the corner and he dropped down. I was like, "Oh, he got knocked out." But then he slowly got back up and he had blood coming out of his nose. I'm like, "Oh my god, just stay down, man. You don't need to get back up." And when he did, they continued to fight. Next thing you know, bam, one hit, he dropped like a bag of rocks. And I was just like, oh my God. Yeah, he got knocked clean out. And the whole crowd went wild after that knockout. I mean, I feel bad for the guy, and I hope he's okay. But, yeah. I mean, my brother's fight was first, and he was doing fine. He was doing everything he could do. Just when he got caught off guard when it came for the clenching and the knees to the head, because that what threw him off. Everything else he was doing fine, and yet he actually knocked the guy down once. He lost via TKO, but he got one hit to the head from he got knee to the face or somewhere in the head, and his vision went fuzzy. He couldn't see, and he was literally fighting 2 rounds blind because well, nearly almost blind because all he see was just a fuzziness, and he was literally just he was literally telling me like because the guy he was fighting was in yellow shorts. He's like, literally, he was fighting something that was fuzzy with a bit of yellow on him. He had to literally just throw punches at him or do whatever he could because he couldn't barely see the guy. He was fighting blind. And it was like saying, whatever you do not hit the figure in black because that's the ref. But yeah, he went on for 2 rounds, and by the third round, when the ref was telling, like they're saying, he said he couldn't see. They had to wave off the fight. So the guy won by TKO, all because the fact is my brother was caught off guard from the rules because they told him at the last 20 minutes. And yeah, he and plus two he couldn't see. It was hard to fight when you can't see, and he didn't want to get knocked out if he couldn't see. So there was that. But like I say, guys, I'm expecting to get a package in the mail on Monday, like because now it's saying it'll be coming in on Monday around 2 or 3 or so. And when I do get the package, I'm definitely gonna open it up and do a review about the stuff of it on YouTube here. I don't know if I'm gonna do it in the here with this live stream or I'm gonna do a regular video because I know I gotta try to get back doing my regular videos because as well. I mean, it seems to me like I'm stuck doing like near 420 videos on the channel. You know, playing 420. But yeah, I know I'm off work for now, and yet it's good news because A means I got time to watch WrestleMania here at my house and not have to worry about putting time off for work because work is shut down. And I don't want to talk much about it because A, there's no media clause, and two, I don't want my work finding out I'm talking, shit about it. But since I'm not going to mention their names, that's the thing. But it had to do with what's going on with the government and all that stuff right now with the president. But again, not want to talk about politics and all the tariffs and stuff that's going on because my company is working with another one that's out in Canada, Windsor, Ontario. So yeah. So right now we're a little bit shut down, and there's claiming it'll be back within 2 weeks. So, but then again, there's a chance of maybe more. It could be a whole month. In the meantime, that's why I'm gonna say I'm gonna have time doing this live stream thing almost as every day as I can. So I just know, guys, come Monday, you're gonna see more of DM Tombstone live when I can. I know Tuesdays and Thursdays it's gonna be a bit iffy if I'm gonna do them around noon or so because I still go to physical therapy because I'm still working on getting my shoulder 100%. It's almost there, but I just need to work more on getting my shoulder back to 100%. As far as I know, the mobility and wise of strength in that, it's getting there. It's just never going to be at 100%. Hold on one second, folks. Yeah. It always sucks when people want to. It just sucks when people want to chat with you while you're on a live stream. Yeah. Okay. All right. And just knowing, guys, if you're new to this, if you're new to my channel, just knowing to check if you want to know about me, and obviously if these ain't dead giveaway, or if you want to see those, check them out on my channel. I'm at my regular videos on my channel. DMTombstone belts. There's 400 some videos of mine. And if you like what you see on my content, make sure you like it. Don't forget to share it. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do, guys. After all, it's getting closer to 700. Once I hit 700, it's gonna mean a lot just to me and as well to you, the fans that are watching my channel. Because usually every 100 subscriber mark I reach, I want to do something special, and I do like a subscriber bell giveaway to everyone to a chance for everyone. Dr. Dead, Mac Lamb, big ECW guy. Well, yeah, I would say, yeah, I mean, not just ECW, but as well some WCW, WWE, some miscellaneous stuff. But yeah, I enjoy the ECW like title belts. After all, I mean, at least the originals. And believe me, I always wanted to get the big silver ECW belt. And it's always hard to find them when you could. But I would say I'm a big, huge fan mostly of WWE because I got a lot of WWF stuff and or WWE stuff as well. These are the only ECW belts I got. Big Gold is my fave WCW. Yeah, I mean, if you're a big if you're a big wrestling fan, and obviously the Big Gold is always gonna have to be the belt of choice. I mean, that one is a WWE big gold with the red backing on it. I have it signed by Booker T, I think, and of course Ric Flair. And I do know I want to try to get a WCW big gold in my collection. As far as I know, I'm gonna try to work on getting one. I know there's ones on the shop like the Crumb Rind, or some people say it's the shop Rind big gold, but you know, who knows about that? Five time. Yeah, I know Booker T. Because I met him at that Motor City Comic Con once, and yeah, I came there with the big gold. I was gonna go there with the United States title because I know he was a former United States champion, but I think it deserved the fact that he had to have the big gold. And I didn't even have a WCW TV title or a WCW US title at the time when I met him. But if I did get the WCW TV title, I would definitely want him to sign that one because it was one of the titles he won as well. Second, folks. Mm. Do you have the hardcore title? Oh, do I have the hardcore title? Why, yes, I do. Both as a bootleg and, of course, my homemade one that I had signed by Mick Foley himself. Yeah, I didn't get the shop version of the hardcore title because it's just it's not TV accurate. I mean, other than the fact that the plates and all that were right there, it's just that because of the WWE logo. That's awesome, bro. Why, thank you. I like to have certain belts if they're from the certain era to be TV accurate. Like if it's a WWF belt, it needs to have a WWF logo. Because if it's got a WWE logo, it just looks stupid. Like the Winged Eagle, I think it deserves to just be a F with the WWF logo. When it's that classic the block WW logo, it just looks funny. I mean, unless you get into one a match like the one with Cody Rhodes has now, then yeah, go ape shit on that. But if I say if you want it to feel like back in the day when you were growing up when it was WWF, you want the WWF logo. Like, and I'm still working on doing more of my collection. Like, like I said, I got the biggest of all WWE collection from starting with the Hogan '86 right there, then the Winged Eagle, Smoking Skull, Big Eagle, Undisputed and Spinner, Big Gold and Scratch logo, Big logo belt, and then of course up top my fully loaded network logo, Rated R title. I didn't get the Rated R title yet. I know I want to get one, and I'm just not quite sure if I can find one because I know many people want to have the Rated R. I mean, I can get it; it's a title, but the only thing is, it's like I want to first start with the other stuff in my collection because as far as I and as well, almost forgot the big green belt in the background there with the $1 million belt and the EW. I mean, the big green belt's probably the oldest version of the WWE title I have. It ain't the oldest belt I have because I just got that one recently, but talk about from the beginning of the legacy of the WWE Championship. And I know there's one it's between the Hogan '85 and the big green. There's one belt I'm missing from it, and I'm hoping to gonna get it soon. The Hogan '84, or no, the Hogan '85, because the Hogan '86, yeah, that's like from there, literally from the big green belt to the '86. There's only one I'm missing in between. I know most people are like, what about the '84? Well, '84 is kind of like the '85, just a different paint scheme. And I just want to get the '85 because it's literally from the one from WrestleMania. Like literally, it's known as the WrestleMania 1 WWE title. Get from there and then go up or go more further back because now I got all the belts from literally '86 all the way to the modern day undisputed. But the only thing in between, if it's go from big green to undisputed, only thing that's missing from that is the Hogan '85. Because I don't like getting that or version that's like the '84. Because either way, it's the exact same belt, as far as I know. But I do know I want to try to get, and I know you're thinking like, what about the rated R title or the eco-friendly Daniel Bryan title? Well, those are just gimmick belts, and I know like most people wouldn't mind getting them. I will. I mean, I would get them when I can. It's just I feel like I want to get more other belts to my collection, like because as well, I want to try now to finish off the WCW collection because I already got the ECW down. All the ECW belts are down. I got the WCW tag. I got the WCW US, WCW television. One of the things I'm missing now is the cruiserweight and the world title. Well, two versions of the world title. There's the 91 or 94 version, and of course the cruiserweight. Yes, the WCW cruiserweight. I mean, because I already got a cruiserweight title right there, the purple cruiserweight title, or most people say it's the 205 title. You see back there with the Attitude Era tag, European. Right there's the light heavyweight title. I got that one. Hi, Pez. How are you? But yeah, as you know, I'd like to finish off the WCW collection, and as well want to work more again also the AEW collection going because I already got the AEW TNT title. Shout out to Hassan Belts for that one. He does great work there. I know I eventually want to try to get the AEW World Title, maybe the version two, the AEW Tag, the AEW Trios, and possibly the AEW Continental or the International title as well. Like all those ones. Any TNA belts? No. Well, because don't get me wrong, it's because I don't. It's because I never watched TNA. I've only maybe seen one episode of TNA. I don't watch it as much as like I do with AEW or WWE, ECW, and all of them. But I see now their belts are pretty badass. In fact, I own only one of the of TNA titles, and it's a toy belt. It's the TNA Legends title or television title. It had multiple versions of. I mean, multiple names for that one title. But yeah, I only own maybe one TNA belt, and it's a toy belt. TNA back in the day with Kurt Angle was sick. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. So far as I know, he was the only one in TNA, as far as I know, that held almost every single title there was in TNA, along with the IWGP title as well. But back then, I think it was known as he was known as that other name, one that the fans are gonna bear or have buried. So I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to bring it back up again. But yeah, Kurt Angle, at that time when he was, well, I can say he was perked up. That's when they said at that time when he was running in TNA. But yeah, and I do know I want to get the. I mean, if I do get the rated R spinner, I definitely know it's gonna be a hassle for me to start restoning that one because I've already fully restoned my own WWE spinner, the shop spinner, the regular WWE spinner. That one was a pain in the ass to do, especially with those 2 millimeter stones. And the fact to try to do that one all over again would be a hassle. Obviously, there's no stones on the spinner part except for that little circle with the rated R logo. The rated R logo doesn't have any stones on it whatsoever, but the stones all everywhere else, yeah, it was a hassle to do it the first time. Probably never again. I made an updated video with all 50 belts. If you get a chance, check it out because I would like to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. Oh, okay, Pez. I'll take a look at it. Matter of fact, let's see if I can check it out right now. It's Pez on the YouTube channel, right? Let's say I'll pull it up on my Xbox and give you a full review right now. It's Pez, right? Pez. Okay, we're gonna do that. So P. Oh wait, is it cap? Hmm. All right. I'm only seeing stuff about Pez. Are you sure it's just Pez? Hold on, let me try something. Huh, that's weird. All right, maybe I could. Look it up. No, it's not. Oh, here you are. Okay. Just check up your channel. All right, let me put it up here. If that's you, looks like you got 2 videos so far. So let me watch and review it. I think your most recent video right here. Wow. Okay, let's take a look. Looks like I see some WCW titles, NWA, I think, some AEW, North Atlantic. My God. Oh, there you go with the big green belt right there. Looks nice. Oh, I see the IWGP uh, world title. I think that was a version 4 or version 3. I'm not sure. There's the UFC belt. I have done a UFC belt on my channel before, and it's my brother's belt I gave him on his birthday or Christmas time. Uh, I tried to start restoring it. I see other ones like NWA, NWA Big Gold right there, and an NWA United States, the 10 pounds of silver is known as. There's the NWA National Heavyweight Championship. The Crumb Ride Big Gold, or yeah, I think it's a Crumb Ride Big Gold there. And the old UWF Championship from that Herb Abrams Corporation, the AWA World Heavyweight Championship. Wow, you surely know how to. Are all these replicas, Pez, or some of them like real titles or bootlegs and that? There's the old classic NWA 10 pounds of gold, the Dome Globe, as most people call it. And there's the Mid Atlantic States Heavyweight Championship. There's the Luger NWA United States Championship. Yeah, the NWA National. In fact, I'm gonna rewind the video. Unofficial replicas. They're not real belts. So I'm gonna rewind it and I'm gonna point the camera to the TV so you guys can see Pez's channel. There he shows off his IWGP title, the UFC title, and all those. I mean, yeah. Oops. The AWA title. And that below it, the NWA title. That Mid Atlantic title. The Most people call that the Luger United States, the AWA United States, then the NWA National Championship. Oops, sorry guys. And you say these are unofficial replicas. I mean, they look as good, pretty good belts. I'll say that. Western states. I mean, I know since I don't know these like belts that well. That's why I don't collect them as much. I know some people know have more knowing about these belts than me. There's like NWA tags and all those other titles. The International Tag Team Championship belts that look pretty cool. The AWA International Television Championship that looks like a knockoff version of the Andre 87 Southern Heavyweight, and I've seen that belt a couple times. That title, I just don't know what corporation it was. Mid Atlantic Tag Team looks like a small belt. Classic NWA Television Championship, the red strap version. And of course, the classic NWA United States Tag Team Championship. There's a good one. The scratch logo WWF European title. The winged eagle. The Backlund belt. The WWF Heavyweight Championship belt. And the WWF International Championship. That's a belt that WWF had back in the day before it was known like for Vince McMahon and that. The AWA World Tag Team Championship. How do you go about making the belts? Me making belts. All right, on the TNA X Division title. think that's an old school Intercontinental, I think. There's another one of WWF Junior Heavyweight, I think that was. There's a Big Eagle and a dual plated WWF tag team, which I have one of. The North American Wrestling Championship. Then there's that Smoky Mountain Heavyweight title, looking a lot like the Continental Championship. WWF Heavyweight Tag Team Wrestling Championship, the old school WWF Tag Team title, which I believe was the one that was defended at the first WrestleMania. Another Backlund belt, this time on a purple strap or a blue strap. And of course, the original ECW World Championship before it was as the ECW we all know of, the WWF North American Heavyweight. That was before they brought it back with NXT, United National Championship. Yeah. And of course, there's the version one of the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, I'm gonna just set the camera back up over here. So yeah, I gotta say you got quite a collection there, Pez. How do I go about making the belts? Well, first off, you gotta have the idea. Oh, he's got some WCW titles. I'm gonna pause it here for a minute. Yeah. So what do I do about me making the belts? Well, first off is the concept of the idea of which belt you want to make. And many times I have people suggestions that help me make more belts. Like when I first started, I never had a replica belt. Like when I made the United States spinner and the WWE spinner, because those were my first homemade belts I made. Well, WWE wise, I made belts before that. Was first I draw a concept. If it's like we had our own background, our backyard wrestling, I made belts for them too. And I've drawn it out and I started putting pen to paper and then I go to using the cheap materials like cardboard and that, and of course the tape. But with the homemade WWE or WWF or any version of those, I'm lucky enough now to have like a replica or bootleg or any of those versions of the belt. And if I can't take the plate off and just trace it on the stock cardboard and that, I made one for a boxing match on my channel. Oh, good. Good to know. Because what I do is if I have the belt and if I'm able to remove the plates, I take the plates off and I trace them on cardboard. But if I can't remove it, I just measure them out and try to do it free-handed. It's mostly what I do. But this is the thing. I come up with an idea, and then with the pie tray, and well, for me, I use cardboard. I mean, because I'm not much into using metal. Because I'm not a guy that will cut out aluminum or cut metals and put them together because that's not my type of thing. I mean, eventually I may try to get to that, but then again, I'm not good into like the CNC and all that stuff, stacking the plates onto each other, and as well I have to put design on it, and I'm afraid that it'll just wipe off because it's like using paint on metal or something like that, and it'd be hard to see the details unless you're like chiseling it in or drumming it in, and I don't have the tools for that, so that's why I stick to cardboard. Cardboard is where it helps me out to where I could get the designs to put into it a lot better. Like you see, if you check out my channel, all these are homemade. And yes, they do look like real replicas and real belts, but obviously they're all homemade and they're cardboard. And the strap I get from a local fabric store like vinyl or something like that, kind of like a fake leather, like pleather or something like that. It's vinyl, and I get like a couple of them cut. I put the plates on the vinyl, trace out the outline of the strap. If I don't have a stock strap or a belt, I can just trace the outline of the belt on it to make it like that. Wow, they didn't look cardboard at all. Well, that's I say because well, thank you. It's also about the choice of what you do because it's cardboard, but with the help of these, I I put a layer of this tape on them. These is known as mirror tape or some form of because before I used to use something called metallic duct tape, like as like silver or gold duct tape on my other belts, like you seen my WWE spinner. Eventually, the gold had faded out, and it looks like it's been like literally it just been bleached out of the shine. And then someone helped told me about mirror tape, and that was when I got to start using these. This is like mirror duct tape or something like that. These hold up their shine a lot more, and obviously, like here at my oval IC, you can see the shine still on there and the concept on that. But yeah, I just put I and of course for belts that have designs, say like this one, I have to make two copies of the exact same plate. Say like if it's a five plater, like this one, say like because there's two plates here, I gotta make like four of them, two for each plate. Say kind of like a relief plate, as you know. The bottom is the base plate that's stuck to the strap here with the screws, and I also sew the plate onto the strap. So many times, if I'm worried about the screws getting ripped out or something like that, when you stitch it on, it ain't gonna go nowhere. I put the screws in there for extra security, but also realism because you can feel the bolts on the back of this strap. But also the top plate is the relief plate, the plate that mostly show off the design. Just kind of like also the center plate here, where you got to trace out the designs and all that. But majority of my time when I do this is free-handed, like the globe and all that. Most time I would trace it out, like I would mostly take like a mechanical pencil and trace out a bit of the design, and then go it back in with puff paint. Or sometimes I would use enamel paint, like that mostly I use for my metal belts, and put it on there, for that to make it have a feel to it. But yeah, then as well, when I do, I first start by gluing these on. Normally, I used to use wood glue, but the wood glue mostly would stick out too long. So that I get to find other glues like E6000 is another one I use. I first would put the plate onto the strap and then have weight on it and set it to where it get into a curve, where it'll hold a curve. Maybe you should try giving it a shot to make a belt out of metal. You got talent, bro. You should. I mean, if I had the money and had the time, well, now I do have the time, but as well, it takes a lot of effort to try to make a belt out of metal. Like I say, again, like with the cardboard, it's a lot of hassle just to do it with cardboard, and of course, there and two, it's a lot easier to work with because with metal, obviously, for that I can't sew metal onto a strap. At that point, you have to like JB weld some Chicago screws on it in the back, and then hope that the welds will hold or the glue is going to hold on them, and then the screws in the back will hold on to the strap. And of course, depending on thickness as well, I also got to cut them out. And I don't know if I got metal cutting tools, and it'd be harder to do without the metal cutting tools. But I know it'll be easier because I can put a curve on the plates, and I'll have to worry about trying to glue the plate onto the strap and make it hold that curve into them. And as well with the vinyl, obviously I know most people like will also get real leather because you can get some leather tools and then start making your own leather straps. I mean, I won't mind doing that, but then again, I'm an inexperienced person when it comes to leather. I mean, I've seen people do it on YouTube. I've seen like Paul Martin and them do that, and it takes a lot of time and patience. but as well, you gotta think as well. You gotta have the right tools. Some tools are not even existent anymore, and most people use presses and that to stamp like designs in, and I don't have that. And as well, it comes to the snaps. Like for me, I get the snaps I do with the like a little tool and a hammer. Some have like presses for that, and I don't have that. And when you do with with the hammer, that's many times you may have like a dented front part of the snaps, and most people don't like that unless you want a belt that looks ring used. Hold on 1 second, folks. Wow, 40 minutes. And plus, two, another one, if it's a belt that requires stones or like a gimmick to it, it adds more of a time and patience to do. Because, like so like this one, the, the United States spinner, it was a hassle to do this one too because had to figure out how to make the center plate spin, and luckily enough, I've done a couple of them to know it's just a ball bearing like the fidget spinners. They took a piece of a fidget spinner apart and put them on a plate together. And next thing you know, start up a business. This could be your career. I mean, I'm not the only one that makes like homemade belts here on YouTube, and I'm working on doing more. Like obviously, yeah, I was hoping maybe to start making belts and selling them to people. But obviously, you run into parts like the copyrights, because after all, when you're making a belt and if it has logos on it, say like the WWE logo, even though it's not like an accurate look to the logo, but it still says it's a WWE belt. Then you run into people like you don't want WWE coming at you, be like, hey, they want some percentage out of it. After all, it is a belt of theirs. But yeah, no. That's why if I do make belts and sell them to people, I have to do it without a logo without the logo because don't want to get a copyright cease and desist by WWE stuff like that. Yeah, see, he's got a WCW US and it looks like a 5 plate US and the WCW TV. Yeah, you got quite a collection, Pez. I'll give you that. Over 50 belts too. Oh, yeah, I don't want to hear about that. Yeah, so I'll say, Pez, you do got quite a collection. I mean, I'm right behind you too. Man, you got 50. I'm already going up to 40. I'm already at 41. And I've got a couple belts I think you don't have, like the Undisputed title, the World Heavyweight title, mostly the modern WWE titles. Oops. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold on 1 second, folks. Yeah. In time. WWE spinner belt in time. Yeah, I did make a couple of homemade WWE spinners. My old version, I still own. I've been trying to update to make it look better than I originally did. It's not accurate to like the replicas or the real ones. And then I redone it again for Jordan Ramsey, a revisited version of it, and it was an absolutely great looking belt. Check it out on my channel. It's my most recent video I've done about the homemade WWE spinner, and it did spin, just not as good as like the US spinner. And I think it's due to the fact because of the eagle and the champ plate covering it. With the US spinner, It's a lot easier to wobble around because it's not a perfectly flat plate, especially when you're working with cardboard and tape. Many times the friction in that ain't gonna be a smooth spin. I like to get the WWF light heavyweight belt at some point. Uh, well, yeah, and also it depends on also what type of light heavyweight belt you want. Like, as I say, there's two versions of the light heavyweight belt. Get over here because there's the black logo and then there's the scratch logo. Say, if you're going with the black logo, you gotta have it as the red strap version. This here's my homemade one. As you can tell, it looks pretty small. I mean, it looks like a toy belt. And of course, there's the scratch logo. This one's an actual belt I got. It's not a replica, but it's a good looking belt. I have done some paint job on it and have restoned it. As you can see, the belts do look pretty small. After all, I am about, around 5'11", and these look pretty, and they almost look like toy belts on me. I feel like I'm the Big Show when he held the U.S. title. Hello, my friend. Tomorrow is gone. A good day. Oh, good day to you, Sergio Sandu. So yeah, if you do get a light heavyweight title, obviously it'd be kind of hard to find a replica anywhere on the, you know. But I do recommend if you do go the bootleg route, just make sure you contact the right people because sometimes you don't run into people that scam you. I like the red strap one. Well, yeah, this was I would say because this came out around the time for the around '98 or so during the height of when Jamar started doing the belts. Because around the time when this came about, there was the purple oval IC and the blue Big Eagle and the green European title. But they never had a colored strap for the tag titles. I wonder what that one would have looked like. Hmm. Who knows? But yeah, the red strap would stick out of your collection. I'd tell you that for sure. But like you said, I wouldn't mind having any type of version of the belt, even if it is a scratch or block logo. Like, like for me to get the European title, it didn't matter to me if it was the block or the scratch, as long as I had it in my collection. But the green strap is pretty good, and especially the fact that it has the red croc backing on it. And of course, the light heavyweight title because I remember having this as the toy version. Now here I have it as an actual belt, and have it had restoned it with clear Swarovski crystals. I think they're Swarovskis. And I say it is absolutely beautiful. But yeah, I do believe I never, and I say I wouldn't because I think I brought this to a WWE live event once. Both look nice. Thank you. I say, wow, I've been going on for 49 minutes. Well, I know I'm probably going to want to stop this within the hour, but I do know I'm going to come back on here tomorrow, and hopefully it's either going to be a live stream. Well, I know I'm going to do a live stream, but I don't know if I'm going to do it as where I unbox a belt or unbox a package I got from Hassan's belts, or if it's just going to be a regular video of me unboxing it and then go doing a live stream and then afterwards. But yeah, like I say it took a lot of time and effort for this one. And when I was making this belt, obviously I wanted to do the red strap version because A, it sticks out from that from the scratch logo version, and plus it felt quite fun to do a belt like this. I'm gonna put it back up. I say as well, if you have creativity skills and like with good use of art in that, you eventually can work on great details of certain belts you make, including like this one. If you guys don't know, my homemade dual-plated winged eagle belt. And I know I was eventually going to get to doing this one because I have done a hardcore belt and still had the templates for it, and plus a little help from tracing of the winged eagle belt I did have. Yeah, it looks like the real deal to me, that red strap one. But yeah, as you guys see here, my homemade winged eagle, which I took a lot of time to do the paint with the wings and that, and of course enamel with the gold paint. And I don't know if you guys can see, but obviously I feel here the letters are popped out on the word heavyweight and all that. I took a lot of time and effort to make this belt, and of course from the and plus two from a great distance, you can tell it almost looks like the real deal. And nice soft vinyl as well for the backing of it. Yeah, because I made this one to make it more match like with the wings popped out and that, kind of like the real belt was. And I gotta say, it's a beautiful belt I made. And I'm glad I finally got to making the winged eagle. Let's see what we got here now. How long does it take to make a belt? Well, for me to make a belt, it also depends. Because sometimes, like I'd say, most of these belts, some of these belts, I think the quickest one I made, it was under a week. Because I had time, had the money to get the materials, and had patience and time to start working on them. Like from the morning I wake up to like the before I go to bed, I'd be working on a belt. And they like I made the worst part is the waiting time for things to dry. Like as I say, like one whole day I'd be working on tracing out like the design of the plates on the belt, and then cutting them out, putting the tape over it, then marking out where I put the screws in the back of those belts, gluing them down, then doing the design wise on the belt, including those relief pieces, and uh, and then cutting them out, all that for one day. The second day, it'd be me cutting out the strap. You know, after I traced out the outline of what the belt's going to look like, then I cut out the strap for the front and the filler in and the back part of it. But as well, then when I cut that out, I then will lead to using the black puff paint for design onto the belt to make it look like the tooling, bevel tooling, and trace out the snap boxes, the shell tooling design or logo design bevel around the plates and that. And then I would then mark out where the holes for the belt need to be. Then I cut the holes out, put the put the plate through the strap along while I glue the back of them, and then like I first start with the main plate, so that I can put it over something that makes it curve out, and then just have it weighed down for for the rest of the night, and then work it out, stitch, and then by the next day or so, or even the few hours, stitch the plate on, and then put the screws in, and then do the concept over again for the other plates. Many times I do like for like if it's a side plates, I instead of doing one plate a day, I can maybe do 2 or 3 plates a day after screwing them. Literally put the screws in after I have it glued down. Then I stitch the plates on, and then put the screws in the back, and then once they're on, I can even flip the bell over and then glue the relief plates that go on top of that plate to cover up the stitches in that, and uh, and then put it like a band around like the sides, like uh, cover up, the filling parts of it clearly shows that the cardboard plate and put the gold. I put the tape around the edges of the plates so it looks like one piece. And then I would stitch the backing on. We'll first start with by gluing the back down, where the plates are and the screws. So put that down. Then I would stitch the backing up. But first, I have to put like the male snaps on first, because if you do it before you put the male snaps on, the next thing you know, you're kind of screwed on that. Then you got to have the male snaps stuck out. Most people like to have them covered. But then you would stitch the back on, and then you would once the back's on, then you go right to the female snaps if you want to, or you use the puff paint and paint on the edge, paint around the stitching, and then on the edges so you don't see the fill like in between of the vinyl and that. No impatience to do that, but I know I don't. Well, then again, for me, I could do it within a couple of days if I had time and effort. Like now, I got time and effort to do it, but like I said, doesn't matter if you have patience or not. I just know you just gotta take your time and relax. Just knowing you gotta mark it out. One day you want to like day one, you want to trace out the plates and you want to do the plates. Then day two, you want to do the strap. Then day three, start putting them all together. And maybe day four, you put in the finishing touches in that. And many times I have to postpone on it to wait for time when I wait a day or two when I got to get more stuff for it. Sometimes I may not have the snaps, and I gotta wait till the weekend to get snaps. We're ever about reaching the 2 minute warning, guys. I'm surprised I made it over to an hour. Holy hell! But yeah, like I said, some people have patience, some people don't. Like for me, I may only have an hour or two depending on my time, because I want to try to finish up belts as much as I can. And don't forget as well about stones. Many times some belts have stones on them, and you may want to put the stones on for the belts. Like I said, for most people, depending on where the stone sets are, you may put the stones on first while you putting the plates on, or you put them on last before you would do the whole thing about the snaps and the. I, yeah, I give credit where it's due. Do what you do. You really have talent for this. Well, thank you. As I say, if you want to make a belt of your own, I do have a series of videos on my channel. It's known as the How To series. I made 2 of them. One that required when I made the European title, and one where I did the ECW World title. I did 2 versions of the How To series for people to make it easy for them. Yeah. Well, we reached the hour limit, so I'm probably gonna put it into the stream. So thank you all so much for watching my live stream. Thank you all for liking the video as well. Thank you all so much for especially in comments below. And don't forget to check out my main channel or videos there. The 420 videos I've done. Make sure to like. Make sure you share. And if you haven't subscribed, please do, guys. I'm about near 20 subscribers away from reaching 700, and that means a lot. Take care. Thank you, Pez. I like to say shout outs to my buds like Stephen Hammer. Check out his channel. And Dex, check out his channel. He's the one that actually helped me start doing this live stream stuff. As well, follow me on my social media, like on X at DMTombstone96, and as well on Instagram at DannyMe96, where I mostly post stuff there, before I post stuff here on YouTube. And stay tuned because I know by hopefully tomorrow, two things may happen. Obviously, A, there's going to be another DM Tombstone live, and of course, B, an unboxing review video of a package I get from Hassan's Belts. Anyway, of DM Tombstone Belts and for DM Tombstone Live, signing out. See you guys tomorrow.